Welcome! Today we're gonna make my version of a lasagna. One of the other episodes I have is a leek lasagna that my mom used to make. Well, today I'm gonna try to make one with eggplant. So we're gonna start by trimming off the end of the eggplant. And then I like to peel it. You don't have to do this, but I kind of like to have it, especially for this, you know, where it's only the inside of the eggplant. Then it tends to get stuck in there. There you go. Perfect. So what we're going to do now is we're going to slice the eggplant. I'm not going to go too thick with the slices. Probably a 1/4 inch, give or take. Try to be as even as possible. Sometimes it's not really that easy, but there you go. Perfect. And then what we're gonna do is to lay them down on a sheet pan. You can do it in a colander as well. There you go. And I'm gonna salt them. Some people say this is not necessary. I think, you know, it's a nice step that doesn't take much time. Why not do it, right? Let me do this. Perfect. So what we're gonna do is sprinkle with salt each slice. This basically will extract, you know, some of the moisture from the eggplant, which, you know, it's commonly referred to as that acidity, you know, the bitterness of the eggplant. So by doing this, we're kind of having a little bit of an insurance policy on the eggplant not being, you know, at least not as much bitter. I never really tried, you know, doing the same dish at the same type of eggplant, with and without salting to compare, but you know, I'm sure some people did. And as I said, it doesn't take much. We're gonna salt it on both sides. And then we're gonna do the remaining slices. And here you can put them one on top of the other, it doesn't matter. So what I'll do is I'll space them out a little bit, put kind of like crisscross so that they don't really truly overlap too much. There you go. Then salt this one on this side. And then do the other side. So we're gonna leave them like this for about, I would say half an hour to an hour, so that, you know, we can extract as much liquid as we can. And then when we come back, we're going to pat them dry. We're not gonna rinse them, we're gonna pat them dry and proceed with the rest of the recipe. Now that the eggplant has sweated out, what we're gonna do is we're gonna pat it dry, you know, can flour it, and then we're gonna pan fry it. So we're gonna start with nice double layer of, well, if I can get the double layer of paper towel. And as you can see, there's definitely water that sweated out of the eggplant. So I'm gonna pat it. We have some flour here. And then just gonna flour it up. Okay, and voila. Then we move on to the next one. And voila. Now we're gonna move on to pan fry the eggplant. For the next step, we have a sauté pan with about an inch of oil, and we're gonna heat it up to about 400 degrees. Today I'm using canola oil, but you can definitely use vegetable oil or any kind of a neutral oil. I'm gonna do it outside today, that way I don't stink up the house with the smell of frying. So the next step here, easy. It's at 400 degrees. We're gonna put in the slices of eggplant. And we're just gonna go basically to a golden, brown stage, making sure not to burn them. So pay attention to the temperature of the oil. Today I'm using a infrared thermometer to measure the temperature, and if it goes a little bit too low, once you put the eggplant in, just crank up the heat a little bit. We're going to turn them. Keep in mind, we don't want to get to a crispy stage. We are just trying to par cook the eggplant slices. They're going to finish cooking in the casserole. If you have a thinner slice, you may need to remove it before the thicker ones. So just pay attention and remove each slice as it's ready. I cranked up the heat now since the temperature went down to about 320. As you can see, this one is basically almost ready. It's basically ready. And so I'm gonna take it out, drain the oil as much as I can. And then I'm gonna put it on some sheet tray with some paper towel on it. And then we're gonna keep going with this one since these are a little bit thicker. Although these are basically done as well, as you can see from the color. There you go. Oops. Try not to lose it. Voila. And there you go. Now we're gonna let the oil come up to temperature again. Again, measuring it. This is pretty much good to go. And voila. Keep checking the temperature of the oil. We're at about 400 right now, so that's perfect. I'm gonna check the other side. Still needs to go a little bit. And these are ready to go as well, so here we go. Now some of these small ones, you may see that the edge may be a little bit crispy. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. And it provides a little bit of crunch, I guess, in the casserole. Checking the temperature. We keep checking the temperature, of course, and time to turn. And voila, we got this stage done with nice golden brown pan frying of the eggplant. And now it's assembly time. We're gonna put it all together for this eggplant lasagna. So we're gonna start with, our casserole. I'm using Pyrex. I'm gonna butter the bottom and the sides. There you go. Perfect. And then we're gonna start with a small layer of bechamel sauce on the bottom. Just a thin layer. Spread it all around. Perfect. And then we're gonna go in with a layer of eggplant. Now if they overlap a little bit, it's not a big deal. And for the corners, I'm gonna grab these small ones. There you go. Perfect. Now we're gonna go with another layer of bechamel. Now this, of course, will be a slightly thicker layer than what we put on the bottom. Perfect. And just so you can see. Beautiful. And then what I'm gonna do is, so I have 3 different types of cheese. There's actually more than 3. This is basically mozzarella cheese. This is pecorino romano, the good stuff, not the, sawdust that comes in a little, shaker container. This I freshly grated it. And this is like a mix of mozzarella and Asiago and a few other cheeses. I think it was called pizza blend, but I thought it was pretty good. So then we're gonna go another layer. I have rosemary ham that I'm gonna put in here. There you go. Still a little piece from here. Beautiful. Now I'm gonna go in with a layer of the blend, a little bit of the mozzarella, a little more of this blend, a little more of the mozzarella, kind of trying to keep it up, fairly even, and then a little bit of the pecorino. And feel free to basically change up the cheeses, Keep in mind some melting cheese. There you go. And now we're gonna go with the other layer of the eggplant. Let's see. Let me see. This one is a little bit better. And one last one right there. I'm gonna stop at this number of layers, but you can, make more and, have a bigger casserole and make, bigger portion, more layers, for example. Depends also how many people you have and whether you're serving this by itself or whether you're serving this with something else as a side. Perfect. Trying to get a consistent layer of bechamel. And now we're gonna go with another layer of rosemary ham. You know, you could use turkey, you could use, you know, roasted turkey, roasted chicken, you can use anything that you pretty much like to go in here. But I like ham, you know, I like the porkiness. And now we're gonna do a final layer of the cheeses. Go. A little bit of normal mozzarella. I'm gonna do a little bit of this just because you'll see what I'm gonna do next. Perfect. And I sliced some of the mozzarella, and I'd like to finish with slices on top. You know, especially if I'm able to get them like nice and brown, you know, crispy on the edges. That is the goal. There you have it. And voila. And now we're gonna go in an oven. 350, 375 degrees. You know, I would say for about 45 minutes to an hour. What we're gonna do is we're gonna check halfway through it, make sure that the top is not too brown, and if it is, we're gonna cover it with some aluminum foil to finish the cooking. And here we have it, eggplant lasagna, straight out of the oven. So, using this, voila, buon appetito!